future is proud. I'm standing tall, I can touch the clouds. Oh, stand up, rise up.
Decided to introduce TaRL because number one, it was the first, probably the second intervention that will help us with mathematics. But it is the first of its kind because this is not a program, a teaching program, but is an intervention that will help with learning support.
One, the first highlight for the training is the fact that I got to finally meet a program that is having a diagnostic assessment on mathematics.
The practical strategies, starting from assessing the learners, let me say the baseline, just to be able to group learners according to their learning level. That was just superb, and I love it. As a head of department, I love it.
The biggest highlight was the different strategies that were being taught to the teachers on how to teach our learning support learners, or learners that are having different abilities, or they are having difficulties in certain skills such as mathematics, whether it's counting, whether it's computations, and as well as the energizers were also my biggest highlights. And these energizers really taught me on how to introduce and how to captivate my learners for every lesson that I'm going to teach them, especially for those learners that are already struggling with mathematics.
There's a very, very big difference between the learning support programs that we already have in present at the schools. For example, when it comes to TaRL, we first have to diagnose a problem with a certain tool that is set that will enable you as a teacher to find out as to the levels, the different levels that you have with your learners in your class. But the other learning support program that we have, it only tells us that learners actually need learning support, but they don't really show us as to how do I start with the learning support.
TaRL, okay, what I have observed and what I have learned in TaRL, the difference is TaRL is more of a hands-off activities where learners are using different manipulatives to get to their answers, compared to the strategies that we are using at school is more paper-based.
Of course, we have learning support taking place in our schools, and to have heard about the TaRL program, we feel that it is needed and it may help us to improve our numeracy, the numeracy competencies of our learners.
Okay, my favorite activity, honestly, is the energizer. The energizer, as well as the charts, and the different methods that TaRL taught us on how to teach place value. That was the tip of the iceberg for me.
No, the impact will be really massive. It will be massive in the first instance. It is something that is designed for the learners. But when I look at it, it will be so massive that the teachers, it can also have the teachers improve their own math skills before they go and impart it in the learners.
Number one, the program, as I have said, one of the key area of a senior education officer advisory services or professional development is to support teachers. So it is our key duty to visit schools. We are not office-based. So given the necessary support like transport and everything, we are going to visit what is happening in schools, and especially with the TaRL program, because it's a new program to us.
I would say that TaRL is laying a very important foundation, which is what we're talking about, because we're not talking about grade 11 results, but at the end of the day, if you analyze and assess, it's all coming from the foundation.
The impact is going to be very much positive, not just for the learners, but as well as for the teachers, because we are all different. And I think my junior primary teacher also didn't do a very good job when it came to mathematics, But when I came to this program, things that I did not really understand for over all those periods of years, ever since as a child, on how to do place value, on how to break down or expand numbers, I got it into 3 days.
Some of us, some of the teachers were already struggling also to understand things like place value, meaning what we're giving to the learners was also kind of confusing because we also didn't really know how to do it. But now, since we've got these skills and with this program, so this is going to help the teachers plan the most effective lesson plans that are targeting specific levels of which their learners are in.
We have high expectations after the training. We looking at the teachers, they are happy, and also having some volunteers in schools and some of the TaRL members who will be in the region. We honestly have high expectations because we expect them to be in schools. Ourselves also will also supervise the program, and we will honestly just support it for us for it to help to give us the result that we want.
Would you recommend teaching at the right level program to other schools
Definitely.
in your region?
Definitely, even out of my region.
I would recommend it 2,000,000%. Why? Because in 3 days, I have learned so much. I have, the facilitators really gave out so much activities that really will help us teachers and also our learners. So I would recommend it to all the schools around Namibia.
Currently, we only have 24 schools, but we have more than that in the region. So depending on how we perform with these schools, I look at it and I hope that we will be able to expand the program to all the circuits.